Hi everybody, this is Carrie with Creatively Carrie, and this is Sketchbook Wednesday. And today's quick live, I just wanted to show you guys that I'm going to be painting or drawing. Actually, I'm going to draw this little teapot. So I've set it up on my art table here. I've got my supplies, my sketchbook and my pencils, and then I even have my colored pencils handy so that I'm going to color it in when I've got the sketch done. So right now I'm going to switch my camera around and then I'm going to place my camera into my little handy dandy holder here above my head so you guys can see what I'm doing. Okay, so here we go. Okay. Okay, so that looks pretty good. Got it lined up there. So again, I just showed you my little teapot that I'm going to sketch out. So I am actually going to just start with my HB pencil, so I can just do some light sketching of my little teapot here. So my idea here today is to do as little talking as possible, so we'll find out if that works during this session. But again, I'm just going to do a light little sketch of a little teapot here with some sunflowers on it. And then you guys can just kind of hang out and watch as I'm doing this. So I'm sketching out the base and the body here. And then my little teapot here has a lid. Just doing a real rough sketch here. Getting myself warmed up. And then I'm going to just start refining my shape. Forget the handle. So now I'm just drawing in the sunflowers that were on this little teapot. There's sunflower leaves and some regular leaves. Okay, and I'm gonna be refining all of this a little bit as I go. Matter of fact, I forgot my eraser, so I'm going to run over there and get my eraser real quick. Okay. So now I'm going to kind of just start cleaning up some of my pencil lines here that I don't want anymore. Gonna solidify those lines here. All right. So now that I've got the general shape here, I'm going to kind of jump to my colored pencils now and just kind of start adding some color and doing a little bit of shading here and there. So I'm going to start with my sunflowers. I'm just going to add in some color here. This is just a quick little doodle sketch, and I'll get more details the more I stick to it. Continue. going to be kind of jumping back and forth here between my colored pencils and my shading pencils, just because I really want to start laying in some dimension now that I've got the shape that I like. See, I want a little bit of a lighter gray in here for some of the shadowing. I'm going to start working on trying to make this pot a little bit more 3D in its shadows. Depending on where your light source is on your drawing in your still life, you're going to want to follow the shadows and start darkening those areas up. Now, on my little ceramic pot here, I do have some areas that have some highlights. So I'm going to show you in just a second here how I create those highlights. I'm going to be darkening my shadows just a bit here and there. So a little bit more of a shadow in here because of the curve. So this handle is a good example. Of those highlights, because I can show you again. Okay. So I'm going to grab one of my blending stumps and I'm going to blend this pencil so I can show you, and how I'm going to lift and create this highlight real quick. But I need to put the pencil in here. I want to smooth this out. This is the darker shadow. I'm going to smooth it out so I have it, and then I'm just going to take my eraser because there's a highlight right here on the top of this curved handle. I'm going to take my eraser and I'm going to put that highlight back in by lifting the pencil marks. Okay, and again, you can always go back and do a little bit more blending, put a little bit more pencil back in there, and that's what I'm going to do right here. I'm going to just blend this to make it a little bit softer. And we have some blending over here as well. Okay. So I'm starting to blend down along here along the bottom because it does have a shadow down here. It's a lighter shadow. It's not as heavy as on the edges. Okay. And come in here, identify all these little areas in between my petals. Okay. Now the lid here, I'm going to go back to my 3B pencil. Now with my shadow lines I'm creating here, I'm wanting them to go in a circular motion so that it follows that curved line of the top here. And so now I'm just going to once again take my blending stump. I'm going to soften some of these edges, pull some of this pencil in. Now, I do have some highlights on this because my light source is essentially coming from above and slightly behind. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to lift my pencil marks again with an eraser. All right. Okay. So now that I've got some of this shading in, I'm just going to go back over it with my dark colored pencil, my black pencil, colored pencil. Going to add a little bit more tone to it. And you just want to remember that anytime you're doing any sketching, just remember that I'm not really necessarily looking for perfection here. I'm looking for practice, catching values, looking at the shadows, looking at the shape. and just getting my eye working the values, color changes, things that I want to capture, teaching my eye what to look for. Okay. So for right now, I'm going to just put a little bit more work into my sunflowers. So I've got the petals there. I'm going to be doing some brown for the centers. And now I'm just take some of that brown and just add a little bit of shadow color over the yellow. I was using my blending stump earlier and it was helping to kind of blend this a little bit, so we can do that again there. I have some green leaves that I would like to pull in. I've got the green leaves. Again, I'm going to go back to my brown pencil, colored pencil. I'm just going to do a little bit of outlining, a little bit of shadows, colors in here, just a little bit, just to give it some dimension. Could do the same with my leaves, darken them up a little bit. So again, this is a still life. I was just trying to capture fairly quickly. Wasn't worried about perspective or any of that. Just wanted to sketch. Wanted to get a little bit of time in with my sketchbook today. Okay. Now there's one more quick thing that I'm going to do, and that is I'm going to add the table here, or the surface that the teapot is sitting on, because otherwise it just kind of looks like it's floating. So just going to grab this 3B, or no, I'm sorry, I grabbed my 6B this time. So this is a little bit softer lead. It's going to be easier to blend. Comes off real easy. If I really wanted to press pretty hard, I'd get a nice dark line there. That looks good. And then I'm going to bring out the shadow, the teapot in general there. Shadow, I'm not worried about it looking perfect. Just going to capture the basic image real quick. I'm going to throw some little shadows in here and there, little lines, just again to show depth, texture. Variant. And then what I will do is, again, I'll take my blending stump and blend and soften this out. Just a little bit. I have a thicker blending stump here. Bigger, will cover more surfaces for me, which is perfect. Have the top here. So again, I was just using my little teapot as a reference there. I have some highlights in there. I'm going to do another quick little highlight along this edge. I'm doing any little cleanup or adding any little details. Let's see, I'm going to grab the stump here. I'll just kind of soften these areas as well. Just a touch. And so this is going to be it for today's sketchbook tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Catch me on Friday around 7:30, something like that. I will be doing another live on a painting tutorial. I have a friend of mine who sent me a canvas of the state of California with some poppies on it, and I am going to be painting that. Okay. Awesome. And then if you guys are really interested in learning more about drawing in general, learning some basic techniques and tools from drawing, I am going to be having a 3-day workshop or class on drawing, the basics of drawing, beginners, July 14th, 15th, and 16th. And if you check out my Facebook page, Creatively Carrie, you'll be able to see it there. And you'll be able to get tickets. Tickets are going to be $10 a day, or you can do $25 for all 3 days. All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed this quick little tutorial today, and I hope to be seeing everybody again real soon. Bye.